How to Travel Iceland, Part 2, Iceland's Eastern Region. It's impossible not to be mesmerized by Iceland's haunting beauty, stunning waterfalls, violent volcanoes, and hidden natural wonders that have to be seen to be believed. We headed out on Iceland's famous Ring Road, the roadmap to explore all of Iceland's majestic features. Are your bags packed? Let's go! Welcome to Limitless. If you're new to the channel, we talk about the limitless ways our world amazes us every day. Hit that subscribe and notification bell so you can be part of the fun. In this, the second of a 4-part series exploring Iceland, we take you along the world-famous Ring Road in the ultimate sightseeing road trip. So sit back, relax. This is How to Travel Iceland, Part 2, Iceland's Eastern Region. The Ring Road, Part 2. If you haven't checked out Part 1, the links are in the description. But for those that might need a recap, the Ring Road is one of the most well-traveled sightseeing routes in the world. Tourists from all over the globe descend upon Iceland for the spectacular road trip of a lifetime. The giant circular motorway covers most of the country, except for northern Iceland, the Westfjords, and the Snæfellsnes Peninsula, and most travel guides recommend spending at least 7 days driving between pit stops. When it comes to picking a starting point, there are no rules. While we chose the popular route beginning in Reykjavik and working our way around the island counterclockwise, the choice is up to you. In Part 1 of this series, we visited the south of Iceland, starting with Reykjavik and the Golden Circle, down to Seljalandsfoss, east past Skogafoss to Dyrhólaey, and finishing up in Reynisfjara. It's from the southernmost tip of mainland Iceland that we begin the second leg of our adventure. Svartifoss. Departing from Reynisfjara, the scenic 151-kilometer drive will take you about 2 hours, but the magnificent waterfall at this stop is absolutely worth it. Unlike some attractions we've seen so far, Svartifoss isn't easily accessible by car. You'll have to park your car at the Skaftafellsjökull Visitor Center and hike the well-marked 5.5-kilometer trail to the waterfall viewing points. When you arrive at the stunning falls, the first thing you'll notice is the massive hexagonal basalt columns that seem to hang from the sheer cliff face. Similar to the columns found on Reynisfjara Beach, these black pillars formed during lava flows from 1,000-year-old volcanic eruptions, and it's where this amazing natural wonder gets its name. Svartifoss means Black Falls, and the vivid contrast between it and the surrounding flora is striking. Its grandeur was the inspiration from the Hallgrímskirkja Church in downtown Reykjavik and the ceiling of the Icelandic National Theatre. The waterfall is fed from the Starlækja River, downstream from the massive Skaftafellsjökull glacier. Don't worry if you can't see it from the base of this glorious waterfall, because it's our next stop. Skaftafellsjökull. The Skaftafellsjökull glacier is an outlet of Vatnajökull, the largest continental glacier in Europe. Often called a glacier outlet or tongue, Skaftafellsjökull forms the melting appendage of the glacier, feeding large volumes of water down the Starlækja River. From the Skaftafell Visitor Center, it's a 2-kilometer walk each way, so allow 30 minutes to make the trek. This glacier is better appreciated from a distance, as opposed to exploring directly. While they do recommend footwear with micro spikes for grip, climbing and walking along the glacier without a guided tour isn't recommended. Bounded by a powerful glacial river and pocketed with unstable moulin holes, crevasses, and cracks, only the most experienced should venture out onto the ice. Oh, and just to ramp up the danger just a little, this region is also famous for quicksand. Yeah, that's right, quicksand. It forms when large blocks of ice break away from the glacier and melt in mud or sand. If you're not scared off by all the danger, the best time to visit this gorgeous spectacle is winter, when the glacier ice turns a brilliant blue. Jökulsárlón Glacier Lagoon. Our next stop on the Ring Road is a 58-kilometer drive around the Vanadalshnúkur mountain and up the eastern coast towards the black sand and ice-covered Breiðamerkursandur beach. Just inland of the beach is one of Iceland's most popular attractions, Jökulsárlón, or Glacier's River Lagoon. It's just as the name suggests, a lagoon dotted with icebergs that are broken off by the nearby Breiðamerkurjökull glacier. It's also Iceland's deepest lake with a depth of 248 meters. Fresh glacial water mixes with ocean water at the mouth of the lagoon, causing a distinct and unique coloration of the water. This makes the region a haven for seals, Arctic terns, and other wildlife, especially in summer. Icebergs from the lagoon drift out to sea, polished by the North Atlantic waves before being washed ashore on the jet-black Breder Mørkesander beach. The sand is perpetually coated in translucent ice fragments that glisten, giving a diamond-like appearance. It's why Breder Mørkesander is nicknamed Diamond Beach by locals and visitors alike. In winter, Jökulsárlón is a spectacular backdrop for the northern lights. The whole lagoon lights up in a kaleidoscope of green, pink, red, purple, and blue. If the lights aren't particularly active, try one of the many natural blue ice caves within the Vatnajökull glacier. The whole region is spectacular and has hosted Hollywood blockbusters including James Bond 007, Tomb Raider, and Batman Begins. Take your time at Jökulsárlón. For most people, it's a once-in-a-lifetime adventure, and with the glacier rapidly retreating, it may not be here forever. Höfn. We reached the next stop on our adventure after following Iceland's east coast for just over an hour. Höfn, meaning harbor, is one of the few natural harbors of Iceland's south coast. Unlike the rest of the country, this stretch is beachy and flat, providing a unique coastal village unlike any other in Iceland. While many ring road adventurers use Höfn to recharge, relax, and prepare for the next part of their journey, this fishing village has a surprising amount of culture and vibrancy. Especially if you've spent the last few days navigating the desolate southeast of Iceland, Höfn can feel like a metropolis. It boasts a growing population of 2,200 people, buoyed by tourism and a rich fishing industry. Once you finish checking out the colorful boats in the harbor, the village is full of museums and private collections of rocks, a must-see for geology nerds. Get out the camera for unforgettable sights of the Eystrahorn Mountain and the Hortnafjordish in the shadows of the majestic Vatnajökull glacier. Seyðisfjörður. When it's time to leave Höfn, make sure to fill the car up, because the next leg of our ring road adventure is the longest stretch so far. A winding 3-hour drive that moves north and inland, eventually passing through the main town of Eyjólfsstaðir before heading 30 minutes off the ring road to Seyðisfjörður. On a side note, Eyjólfsstaðir has an airport and has several services between the capital Reykjavik daily, just in case Seyðisfjörður is the last trip on your journey. Boasting itself as the heart of culture, heritage, and hospitality in East Iceland, Seyðisfjörður dates back to at least the age of the Vikings. In the mid-1800s, Norwegian merchants and whalers built the many unique bright-colored wooden houses that are still maintained and replicated to this day. One of the more popular attractions in Seyðisfjörður is the Blue Church, located in the heart of the town. No surprises how it got its name, but the Blue Church is famous for its simplistic beauty and calm-inducing interior. It's actually not the first version of the Blue Church. Original iterations were destroyed by fire and moved, finally resting in its present location in 1920. Besides the bars, restaurants, cinemas, art centers, hot tubs, supermarkets, and craft shops, Seyðisfjörður is surrounded by incredible nature including mountains, waterfalls, and beautiful sea views. And for the history buffs, a sunk British oil tanker named the SS El Grillo lies just off the coast, sunk by a German air raid in 1944. Scuba exploration trips are popular with tourists as the wreck remains mostly intact. Dettifoss. Our last stop for this leg of the journey, and we head northwest through Eyjólfsstaðir for 2.5 hours before arriving at an intimidating display of raw power. Dettifoss is the second most powerful waterfall in Europe, beaten only by the Rhine. Just like most waterfalls we've visited so far, Dettifoss is powered by the Vatnajökull glacier. You'll probably hear these thunderous falls before you see them. With over 93 cubic meters of water per second cascading over the 45-meter drop down below into the Jökulsárlón canyon, it's hard not to be awestruck with this example of Mother Nature's strength. Mist and spray from these powerful falls is visible from several miles away, as well as the rainbows that form within it. You might recognize these iconic falls from movies such as the opening scene from Prometheus and post-apocalyptic thriller Oblivion. They're not the only falls here either. Selfoss and Hafragilsfoss are also popular, yet often overlooked attractions nearby. When it comes to recommendations, we only have two: take your time and a raincoat. You will get wet. And that's it for part 2 of our Iceland travel guide, Iceland's Eastern region. Have you ever done the Ring Road Drive? How long did it take you? What was your favorite stop? Let us know in the comments. If you've enjoyed this video, please give us a like. We really appreciate you tuning in. If you want to check out part 3 of this series or go back and catch up on part 1, make sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. You've been watching Limitless, and we'll see you next time.